so. No, 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 no. I don't think so. No, 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 no. It's never, ever, ever.
Bruno the Bengal cat stretched his paws. He was ready for an adventure.
London, here we come!
His friend Milo, a sleek black and white cat, purred with excitement. Oscar, a bright yellow cat, twitched his whiskers. He wasn't so sure about this trip. The two fluffy white ragdoll cats, Isabella and Luna, clung to each other. Everything felt so new and a little bit scary. The five friends had snuck onto a delivery truck. They thought it would be a fun way to see the city. Now they found themselves surrounded by towering buildings and the roar of traffic. Red double-decker buses rumbled past. People rushed by, their voices a jumbled chorus. The cats huddled together, their excitement replaced by a growing sense of unease.
"Where are we?"
whispered Luna, her voice trembling. Bruno tried to sound brave.
It's all right, this is London. It's supposed to be busy.
But even Bruno felt a twinge of worry. They were lost in a maze of streets, with no idea how to find their way back. The cats wandered through the bustling streets. They gazed up at the Houses of Parliament, their jaws dropping in awe of the towering structure. Big Ben chimed in the distance, its deep bong echoing through the air. A group of tourists nearly stepped on Oscar's tail, making him jump back in fright. Everything was so big and confusing. The smells were overwhelming. Exhaust fumes, fish and chips, and something sweet and floral that made Isabella sneeze. They tried to follow a group of pigeons, thinking they might lead them to a familiar place. But the pigeons flew up to the top of a statue, leaving the cats stranded at the base.
"I want to go home."
Luna, they needed help, and fast. Just when the cats felt their paws with despair, a flash of silver caught their eye. Sitting on a windowsill, calmly observing the world go by, was a magnificent silver tabby cat. He had a distinguished air about him, with a monocle perched upon his nose and a neatly tied bow tie around his neck.
Excuse me, we seem to be lost. Could you possibly tell us how to get back to...
Milo paused, realizing he didn't even know where they were supposed to be going. They had been so caught up in the excitement of adventure that they hadn't thought about the journey back. The silver tabby chuckled softly.
Lost, are we? Not to worry, young ones. Lost is just a word for those who haven't yet found their way.
He hopped down from the windowsill and gracefully landed in front of them.
I am Winston, and I believe I can assist you.
Winston led them to a quiet corner near a quaint English tea shop. The aroma of freshly baked scones wafted through the air, momentarily distracting the cats from their worries. Winston, noticing their wide eyes, chuckled.
Don't worry, little ones. A spot of tea and a biscuit always help to clear the mind.
As they nibbled on tuna sandwiches, specially prepared by the kind lady at the tea shop, Winston listened patiently to their tale. When they finished, he nodded sagely.
London can be a bit overwhelming, but it's also a city full of wonder. The key is to stay calm and observe your surroundings.
He pointed with his paw towards a red double-decker bus.
See those numbers on the front? Those indicate the route. If you remember which bus you took, you can retrace your steps.
Oscar, who had been unusually quiet, spoke up.
But everything looks the same. How are we supposed to remember all these streets?
Winston smiled.
Each of you focus on something different. One of you watch the bus numbers, another look for landmarks, and another pay attention to the smells.
The cats looked at each other, a glimmer of hope returning to their eyes. Winston's calm demeanor and practical advice were just what they needed. They had been so focused on being scared that they hadn't even tried to make sense of their surroundings. With renewed determination, the five friends set off to find their way back. Bruno, with his sharp eyes, took charge of spotting the bus numbers. Milo, being the fastest, darted ahead to read street signs. Oscar, whose nose was second to none, sniffed the air for familiar scents. Isabella and Luna, always attentive, kept a lookout for landmarks they had seen earlier.
I think I remember that statue.
Luna exclaimed, pointing her tail towards a bronze figure of a lion.
"We passed it earlier when we were following those pigeons."
They retraced their steps, their confidence growing with each passing moment. They followed a winding street, their paws hitting the pavement in unison. They dodged legs, maneuvered around prams, and even shared a friendly headbutt with a passing bulldog. London, which had seemed so scary before, now felt like a giant puzzle they could solve together. Finally, after what felt like hours, they spotted it. The delivery truck they had snuck onto earlier. It was parked outside a bakery, its engine idling. The aroma of freshly baked bread filled the air, making their stomachs rumble.
We made it!
Isabella squealed, her tail swishing with joy. They rushed towards the truck, their paws light and their hearts full of relief. They had faced their fear, used their wits, and most importantly, learned the power of teamwork. As they settled into their hiding spot amongst the bread crates, they couldn't help but feel a pang of gratitude for Winston, the wise old cat who had shown them the way. They had arrived in London as 5 scared kittens, but they were leaving as a team, bonded by their adventure and the lessons they had learned. The truck rumbled to life, and soon the familiar sights and smells of their neighborhood filled their senses. London, with its towering buildings and bustling streets, faded into the distance. They were home, safe and sound, and they had a tale to tell that would be passed down through generations of feline adventurers.